Continuing to roll. I know this is like a lot to kind of get through. It's a little bit dry. It's not quite as fun as like, hey, look at my beautiful thing. But this is what leads to the beautiful design. So it's the beginning of what we need to do, the next step in the process. And that's just getting to know the different pieces with which we have to work and what their characteristics are. I just keep reinforcing that because it's easy to sort of gloss over this for whatever reason. And there's not a lot of material out there where people take the time to teach this, neither books nor other trainings. So I wanted to really make sure that it's covered in this training. All right. So semantic HTML, figure and caption, and figcaption. So we can have figures, and then a figure can also have a caption. And let's just jump right to the examples and see what those look like. And so here we have a figure with no caption, and here we have a figure with a caption. And you could see how that looks right here. Here's a figure with a caption. And notice that figcaption is nested within figure. So that's how that all works. All right. So that's figure and figcaption, pretty straightforward. Here's another figure, and it's got a figcaption in it. And then the pre-tag. You might be wondering, what does the pre-tag do? Well, now you know you could go to MDN element list, element reference, and you could look for pre. And you'll see all the way over here, pre, right there. I think we talked about this already. But pre represents pre-formatted text. Text within this element is displayed in a non-proportional font, exactly as it's laid out in the file. White spaces inside this element are displayed as typed. So that's kind of cool. So it's kind of like a string literal, raw string literal. And so where is pre? Pre is right here. So this stuff would all be laid out just like that. Looks like it's some code, some programming code. So that's where we'd use pre. But figure and figcaption, and then some code for people to look at. And it doesn't show what that looks like when it prints out. But anyhow, that's figure and figcaption. So figure is a self-contained content, frequently with a caption. While it's related to the main flow, its position is independent of the main flow. It can be moved to another page or appendix without affecting the main flow. That's interesting. So here we're hearing that word flow, the Tetris blocks, of content stacking up, and it's related to the main flow, but its position's independent of the main flow, meaning it can be moved to another page or appendix without affecting the main flow, right? The main flow is still going to be fine. Typically referenced as a single unit. An example would be an image, an illustration, diagram, code snippet. And usage notes, being a sectioning root, the outline of the content of the figure element is excluded from the main outline of the document. So when we get to the outlining portion, there's this thing about sectioning roots, and a figure is a sectioning root, so it's excluded from the main outline of the document. And you can read about sectioning roots in here, and so that's why that one's blue and these are grayed out. A caption can be associated with the figure element by inserting a figcaption inside of it as the first or the last child, right? So we saw examples of it being both the first child, and so here's an example of it being the first child, and then here's an example of it being the last child. So here's the parent, the figure is the parent, and the image and the figcaption are children. And this is the last child in the list. Here the figure is the parent, and figcaption and pre are children, and figcaption is the first child in the list of those nested elements. So it could be the first or the last child. Kind of interesting. They don't want it in the middle, but I guess that also makes some sense. And then we have figcaption. Caption for a figure, the first or last element inside a figure block. It's optional, so you don't have to have a figcaption. If it's not provided, figure will have no caption. So that's figure and figcaption. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy.